Hello everyone, welcome back to English class. How you been? What's up? Okay, in the last class we were discussing a lesson titled as Oliver's Journey. Have you heard about Oliver Twist? I know most of you heard about that famous story titled as Oliver Twist, and that was written by Charles Dickens. He was a famous English writer, novelist and playwright. Okay, so today lesson 4 we are going to start lesson 4 titled as Oliver's Journey. This lesson basically tells us about the difficult and bad days that Oliver, a small boy of your age who spent in London. And in this lesson we are going to discuss the difficult times that Oliver spent in London. So shall we start? Okay, take page number 29 in your textbook. Lesson 4 Oliver's Journey. Read below an excerpt from Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. The incident below is about the difficult times that Oliver Twist encountered in London. So this lesson basically tells us about the life of a boy named as Olive. Okay? Oliver reached the stile at which the bypath terminated and once more gained the high road. Note down the word stile, S-T-I-L-E. Stile means arrangements of steps. And terminated means entered. So, Oliver reached the stile at which the bypath terminated and once more gained the high road. So, Oliver was walking and he reached near the steps, and after that the steps had been entered, the steps had been finished, and he reached near a road. It was 8 o'clock now, though he was nearly 5 miles away from the town. So what's the time now? Now it's 8 o'clock and he reached, though he was nearly 5 miles away from the town. So he was 5 miles away from his town. So he was walking. So 5 miles he had walked from his place. And he ran and hid behind the hedges by turns till noon, fearing that he might be pursued and overtaken. Note down the word pursued. Pursued means followed. So, till noon, till afternoon, he had been hiding in the walls or hiding in the hedges. Everywhere he was hiding, and he reached here. He walked and he reached the town now, and he was really feared that someone was following him or not. He was really feared that somebody was following him or not. On the way, he was looking all the time. He was looking back that he wanted to know anybody was following him or not. And then he sat down to rest by the side of the milestone and began to think for the first time where he had better go and try to leave. Then, after finishing that 5 miles, he sat in one of the milestone near that road. In the roadside there was a milestone, and Oliver sat in that milestone and he started thinking, where I am going, I don't have any place to go. Then he started thinking about his life. He started thinking about his life, where he was going and what is the purpose of his life. Then the stone by which he was seated bore in large characters an intimation that was just 70 miles from that spot to London. So in your textbook here you can see that the boy Oliver was sitting in a milestone, and in that milestone we can see London 70 miles. So this boy Oliver note down that London 70 miles. So he note down that distance. So he had to travel 70 miles to reach London. And an intimation, note down the word intimation. Intimation means information. So that in that stone he saw distance to London is 70 miles. So that was an intimation, that was an information that it was just 70 miles from that spot to London. So right now Oliver was in that place, and from that place to London he had to travel 70 miles. The name awakened a new train of ideas in the boy's mind. London, that great place. Nobody, not even Mr. Bumble from the workhouse, could even find him there. Then awakened, note down the word awakened, that means gave birth to. Then by seeing that milestone, that London 70 miles, he got a great idea in his mind. Let's go to London. So Oliver was planning to go to London. And London, the great place, nobody, not even Mr. Bumble from the workhouse could even find him there. So he was planning to go to London. Then he thought that little boy thought that if I go to that place, nobody was able to find me. And not even the Bumble was also not able to find me. So let's go to London, and that was a great place. I heard about that London, this boy was saying. And London was a huge place and the very place for a homeless boy who must die in the streets unless someone helped him. Then the boy only thought that London, that was a great city and that will be a cure for a homeless boy like me. So London city will definitely provide me a house and it will be a great helpful for me like a homeless boy like me. That means Olive, who was a homeless boy, who don't have parents, who don't have any house. As these things passed through his thoughts, he jumped upon his feet and again started walking. He walked 4 miles more. Then his thought gone somewhere. Then he decided, yeah, let's go to London. That was a great city and I can live there. I am a homeless boy and I can definitely live there. Then he started walking. As the things passed through his thoughts. Still, he was ready to go London through walking. Then he jumped upon his feet and again started walking. He walked 4 miles more. Then he walked 4 miles more. When that boy was sitting on that milestone, at that time he completed walking 5 miles. And right now, this boy completed walking 4 miles total. He completed walking 9 miles. Okay, fully realizing how much he must undergo ere he could hope to reach his place of destination. Ere means before. So, he had a decision. He took a decision. And there was something in his mind. He wanted to reach that London city. And he had to travel 70 miles from this place to reach London. Then he started walking to reach that place. And he had some kind of hope and fully realizing how much he know how much he had to travel, how much he should walk to reach that London. But he had some kind of hope that he will definitely reach that place.